Madison Gardner.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, how are you?
Good.
Madison Gardner, with the Subry Group, you are a real estate expert and a design extraordinaire.
Thank you.
Designed this house.
We did, yeah. It turned out pretty awesome.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Tell me about it.
So we really renovated the whole thing. The clients that were awesome, they basically said, you know, do whatever you want, which was so fun.
Wow.
And so, yeah, we redid the kitchen, we took out walls, we redid the floors, changed out the front door. I mean, we touched almost every piece of this house. And took about 3 months.
I'm sorry.
We stayed on
3 months?
Yeah, it was pretty good, right?
Wow.
Yes, and we really put our heart and soul into this. It turned out amazing. And the fun part was that we got to not only do, renovate the kitchen, but we also got to come in and do the decor, all of the furniture, curtains, window coverings, everything. So it really came together full circle.
How is it possible that you were able to get all of this done in 3 months? I just keep hearing stories about everything's backed up, everything's taking forever. So what is the advantage for a client working with you? Like, how did you make that happen? If I was going to do this on my own, I assume it would not go that smooth.
No, it's a full-time job. I mean, we have sourced furniture. We had to be really creative with, the things that we picked to make sure stuff was in stock. And even when stuff is in stock, sometimes it gets stuck on a boat or, etc. So we had to be really creative about finding stuff that was easily accessible to be able to do it that quickly. If you order a Pottery Barn sofa, it's taking as long as it takes to build a house. Right. So there's some strategy that goes into that for sure. But yeah, we found stuff that was either in stock or coming soon, and sourced everything. Appliances and furniture are kind of the biggest thing right now, and we were able to get both. So
it's incredible. It's incredible, and I would assume, given that this is kind of a part of what your team does, that you have a lot of great industry connections that kind of help get the job done when you need them.
Yes. Yeah, I don't swing a hammer. You wouldn't want me to. I do a lot of pointing. Yeah, we have amazing trades that we work with, from flooring guys to custom cabinetry, a custom cabinet company that did everything in this kitchen. So none of this was ordered. They built it all on site. They're out of Loveland. Part of the beauty and part of the piece of us getting it done so quickly was that we partnered with people like that were local, that could get stuff done quickly, and we weren't waiting, for stuff to be shipped.
So now, me coming from the lending side of the real estate business, our market is bananas, right? I don't really think that there's a lot of question marks around that. And what we're seeing is that people want to get into a house because homes, their value is growing exponentially.
Yeah, you can't keep up.
You can't keep up in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So oftentimes what I'm seeing is that people have this idea in their head of, I'm gonna spend X amount of dollars and my house is going to look like this. So what would you suggest when that is not possible? So someone just needs to get into a house so that they can start growing that asset and earning equity in their house. What are some easy tips and tricks that people can do to fall in love with their home, no matter what it looks like?
Well, first of all, get in the market. I mean, that's like, just get in. I mean, that's the biggest piece of the puzzle, is just getting something, over time, whether it's a small project or a big project. Your equity can pay for your renovations right now, because it's just the way of the world at the moment. But just getting a house is so important. Building equity, not wasting your money on rent.
Yeah.
I mean, so that is first and foremost. But then second, I think people come in, and when a house isn't staged, or has a bad coat of paint, simple things like that, it changes how the house feels, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to look past if you're not in this business. And so there's easy things like paint. Paint is something people can do themselves.
Right.
White paint. White paint is the way to go right now. Two-tone paint is kind of going out. And so this paint color in this house is alabaster, which is a soft white trim, and walls are the same color. So paint is an easy one. Adding floor-to-ceiling curtains. These are Target curtains in here. Yeah. They're like $30 a panel.
Wow.
Right?
I would have never guessed that.
But adds the drama and coziness, extra texture. So curtains are a huge one. Lighting is another one we tell people all the time. Just swap out lighting. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg, but lighting makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
You know, taking out either really dated lights or just the builder grade stuff that they give you.
Right.
You know,
right.
swapping it out.
Yeah, I've been noticing those are beautiful.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, those are Target, Studio McGee Target.
Target.
$250 for those. So,
wow.
Yeah, and they're huge and make a huge dramatic impact. So,
excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, Madison, our viewers want the tea. I need you to spill a little tea here.
Okay.
All right, I'm just gonna rapid fire you questions.
Okay.
And just give me the first thing that comes to your mind.
You got it.
Okay, white paint. There's a million different colors. What's your go-to?
Alabaster, ideally at 75%.
What does 75%
What does that mean? That's what everybody asks. It means basically it's less saturated.
Okay, perfect. Where should people spend, where should they splurge, in your opinion?
Kitchens and floors. So cabinets and flooring, I think, is not that you need to splurge on flooring, but redoing flooring so that it all matches. Less carpet, more you know, hardwood or vinyl plank. Vinyl plank's a great inexpensive option, but redoing floors in general is a splurge.
Okay, so if we're going to spend our money on the floor, where do we go for decorations that are not going to break the bank?
Target.
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 Target. All right.
I bet I spend 90% of my decor budget at Target. I know that's crazy, but I find like Target and Amazon.
Really?
Yes. The Amazon boxes really, the Target and Amazon boxes stack up. Yeah, there's just the Studio McGee line, the Magnolia line at Target is amazing and an affordable option for, you know, greenery and vases, and they just have a lot of stuff that's really on trend.
Right.
For a lesser price.
Right.
Price tag. So.
Well, I think that's very interesting because I feel like most people would just make the assumption that if they had someone like you come in, it would cost them
everything. Then I wouldn't shop at Target.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's awesome to hear that you can have something like this while incorporating places like Target. And I also want to bring it back to greenery. I've noticed that there's a lot of probably well thought out greenery placed at various places.
Faux greenery.
And that's what I was going to ask you. I feel like there's this misconception that faux greenery is, you know, not
tacky.
Yes.
Yes. No, not at all. Not if it's done right.
Okay.
And I mean, I maybe shouldn't just speak for myself, but I cannot keep anything alive.
Neither could I.
So having, you know, we incorporate greenery into almost every room. So one of the things that I tell people is when you walk through a model home, the two things that people don't do that are very easy that you'll see in almost every model in almost every room is greenery.
Okay.
So whether they're tall plants or, you know, something like this on the countertop or something smaller, greenery is just a huge, you know, it's just a huge piece that makes it feel more warm and inviting. And then curtains, floor to ceiling curtains. People don't add them. And if they do, a lot of times they'll look like high water pants. So, you know, as tall as you can get to the bottom of the floor, just kind of brushing the floor. That's something that is just makes a huge difference.
Okay. Yeah,
it's easy.
And I see that a lot where the curtains are kind of almost, and at first glance you think, Are they too long? And but it seems to be everywhere. So that's the trend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, for
okay.
sure.
All right, I like it. And then what about if I want to add some drama to my house and some dimension, layers? What's the easiest, most cost-effective way to do that?
Shiplap.
Shiplap. I love it.
Shiplap.
Okay. Okay. And I see that there's some shiplap going on in that room back there.
Yes. Shiplap is so. It is getting a little pricier as lumber has gone up, but it's fairly easy to install. I love vertical shiplap too. I usually do vertical versus horizontal. It's just a little more modern look.
Okay.
So you'll see vertical around this house. The back room, in the powder bath, we did shiplap as well. So I love shiplap. I love brick too. A faux brick. There's a couple that we use that are a thin brick instead of like your traditional, but they look totally real and are beautiful. So you'll see that in this house too, on the fireplace and on just an accent wall.
Okay.
So those are a couple things you can do.
So if people want to work with you, what should they expect?
So typically right now we're doing, full rooms, full houses. So we like to come in and touch everything because it really gives, when you see a beautiful photo that we post or a video, people gravitate towards it because we've really, we've touched every piece of the house. I think people have the misconception that hiring a designer breaks the bank. Right. And it doesn't have to. Okay. We come in and we tell you thoughtful places to spend your money. The other thing about us is that we look at it from a real estate perspective. Right. So I will come in and if you're like, hey, I want to spend 20 grand on a sofa or on even a hard surface or a vent hood or something like that, I would advise that you don't. We can do whatever you'd like, but we look at it from a real estate perspective. Where are you going to get your money back? Right. That's a big piece of it. We want you to get your money back out of it. And I think not only loving your home while you're there is important. Of course that's important. Do it now, love it now instead of loving it before you sell it. Right? It
seems like that's what everyone does. They get ready to put their house on the market and they finally make all of those changes that they wanted to do to help maximize the value, and they never enjoy it. You're totally right.
It or list it. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think, doing those things as you can, saving up to do it right, when you are touching big pieces, like doing a kitchen reno, really doing it right, making it something that you love.
Madison, this bathroom. I would have never thought in a million years to paint shiplap like this. I think I've only really seen shiplap white.
Yeah. This is so fun. This color is called Coastal Storm. We painted the whole bathroom, so the trim and the baseboards, I should say, and the shiplap, which is one of my favorite things to do right now, is painting, even if we're just doing an accent wall, painting the trim that same color. But painting a whole room, and it just really gives it a mood. We swapped out the vanity, which was a pretty inexpensive swap, to be honest. I think this is from Wayfair. $500 vanity, just for the drama and the customization it adds. Right. A pretty easy swap from the pedestal sink, and so much more functional because it has storage and etc. So
who knew? I never knew I could get a vanity for $500.
Right. An easy swap.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Madison. Yes. This whole house is beautiful, but this is the most cozy room. I would want to spend all of my time in here. I feel like you have everything. You have beams, you have built-ins, you have shiplap, you have curtains, you have this beautiful chandelier. I mean, everything. It's just gorgeous. How do you know what to do here?
This is so funny. This house is kind of a traditional layout. So this used to be the living room, but it was smaller. And so we kind of changed things up. The homeowners did want to put a TV in here, and after I decorated, it convinced them with my decorating not to put a TV in here, and we started calling this the hearth room, which is really what it is. You've got the fireplace. It's just like the coziest place to like have a cup of coffee, have friends over, drink your wine at night, talk, be intentional. Like, it's a really intentional use of the space. I think when homeowners come to me and I'm like, we could do this, this, and this, they're like, wow, that's a lot. Right. That seems like overwhelming in this space. When we talk about built-ins, you know, when we talk about the fireplace, this fireplace used to be, you know, over to the side, and it had all the 90s nooks in this room. And so moving it to the center and having the built-ins and being intentional with, you know, that's a cool place for them to, you know, have their memorabilia and have storage for kiddos and stuff like that. But when we bring up the conversation of what we can do in a space like this, it seems like a lot when we're talking shiplap and lighting, and it's, I think when you're not in this, it can feel like, oh, that's too much, that would be overwhelming. Just tell people to trust the vision, and it's what makes this room feel so cozy. Is because we did layer so many aspects into this space.
Without it feeling cluttered.
Yes.
Nothing about this feels cluttered or overwhelming.
No, in fact, it feels like it like hugs you. Yes. It just feels like the coziest space. This is one of my favorite rooms I've ever designed, to be honest. I love how this space turned out. It is a feeling.
It's great, it's great. And did you say that children live in this house?
Isn't that crazy?
So you can have a house like this and have children.
Yes, everything is like the leather sofa. The chair that we have in this room has a removable cover. These are removable covers. The rug is a washable rug.
Wow.
You know, we really try to be super thoughtful when having kids, dogs, pets, you know, all the things, because that's normal life. But it can still be pretty.
Well, it's beautiful. I mean, really, congratulations. This is a job well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I can understand why so many people want to work with you. You can make anyone fall in love with their home with the magic that you're able.
You're making me blush.
It's beautiful. Congratulations. You've done a wonderful job, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
So fun to be able to share.
Good. There's a million different kinds of white paint. What's your... Ruby!
Ruby, do you want to tell us what your favorite white